The big bark, listen up dog owners, it's for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favorite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host Darragh Burke and canine co-hosts Bruno and Milly. The Big Bark.
Hello and a big welcome back to the Big Bark podcast, the show that is absolutely crazy about all dogs everywhere. Last week we had a fantastic episode and we got great feedback from that. That episode was with John from Tree Vets in Limerick, and thanks once again to John Darragh for being on with us last week and a couple of weeks ago as well. Some brilliant content that everybody enjoyed, and well, let's get into today's show. Coming up a bit later on, we'll be heading to a new grooming salon called Head to Tail, which is based in Mulgrave Street in Limerick, and we'll be meeting with the owner of this wonderful little salon, Jess, who is going to be telling us why she got into grooming and about the different things that she'll be offering in the salon. But first of all, we are taking our lives in our hands here a bit today. Well, my life in, I suppose, everyone's hands, because today we are at the Bark Park once again, and I am delighted to be joined by Jamie and Sarah from Trails and Tails. Jamie, how are you doing?
I'm good, Darragh. Welcome back.
Nearly got mauled to death there a few minutes ago by Bruno, but I'm used to it by now.
I had to introduce it to him this time. Last time we kept him down in the second field, but you know, I wanted you to see firsthand what Bruno was like.
You wanted me to see why you asked for life insurance the last time, yes.
Exactly. Look, he's eyeing you up there.
He is.
Oh, let him go. I'm only joking.
So, what's been going on since the last time?
Jesus, I suppose one of the big things, we left the daycare. Obviously we were a part of Urban Tales. It just wasn't for us anymore, so we kind of came back just to focus on Trails and Tails, and it's just gone from strength to strength. A lot of new members, because I had stopped taking on new dogs, but then we reopened the books. Sarah's been flying it with Pretty Little Pup. She's standing there now paranoid because Sarah's going to have to come on and talk.
She will. She's not there to say no that she won't, but well, say it was your bandanas yesterday that led Limerick to the All-Ireland victory, like so.
Never seen sport like it.
You should see her at home though with the old machine. She's like a little granny there in the corner.
Fair play, face mask and all on, yeah. But actually Sarah does make the bandanas for the Big Bark as well that we give away. She there does, so
yeah,
like,
she's
really good quality, and
appreciate the support.
She's just talking from a distance there, that could have come over at all.
We'll get you there. And obviously there's another new human in the field there today, Annette. It's her first day, and just like you, she got introduced to Bruno, and by God,
she got attacked as well.
Oh, he's just lethal. He's super friendly, but he doesn't know when to say.
And of course Paul, but with no umbrella today.
No, jeez, I'm surprised that even when
he got a new umbrella, did he?
Did, because I kind of
you let the dog spray the last one,
and they took a doo-doo on his umbrella when it was left aside. He blamed me, surprisingly.
I can't blame him, to be honest, for blaming you, because like probably was your fault really, but
anything's possible here in the Bark Park.
So all is going well, and Jurassic Park range is going well for you?
The dog food has gone from strength to strength as well. We got a lot more customers on it, because again, look, and people love it. If there's an issue or if they have any questions, they have my number. They can ring me any time of the day, and even when I deliver it, if they have questions, it's very personal, it's one-to-one. Because I think the last time I used the word intimate, but it was wrong. Sarah said it, you're getting intimate with your customers. So yeah, no, it's all going good.
At this stage, I don't think anything would really surprise me.
No, Sarah's well used to it, I'll be honest. You're lucky people can't see you.
I was into another new business, which will be featuring a bit later on in this episode, into Head to Tail, into Jess here.
Jess is flying. She's opening tomorrow. We've actually partnered up with Jess, so she's going to be stocking the
That's right, I saw the foods inside there, yeah.
And like, you know, Jess is a new business. Anyone that follows my page knows any new canine business, I'm always happy to help any way, shape or form that we can. So when Jess got in contact, they were happy to guide her and help her in any way, and I've been in a few times and the place looks amazing.
Even this morning when I was in there a while ago, it looked fantastic.
It doesn't it? It's spotless, it's bright, it's just, she's gone, I've no doubt. Like, Jess is nervous, but I said this to Jess, it's like, look, we all get butterflies. When I started Trails and Tails, It's all the what if, do you know what I mean? And now, sure, look at it.
And who we got waiting to sail?
That's Harry.
That's Harry.
Harry's
And
breathing heavily, and Harry doesn't know when to relax either. But
it's a warm enough day for them today.
It is, this week now is going to be, it's a play by day because there's certain temperatures that if it peaks, I cancel all the walks.
Actually, that's something I want to ask you. Like the last time, obviously, when we had the heat wave, like it was great for you in a way because you were finished very early during the day. And
I was on by what, 10:30, 11. No.
Well, this is something that has not happened in a podcast before. A small little wash.
That's Cody. He's a little Bichon, and that's Clara. She's a big Labrador.
And they are trying to go giggity at it. So
Cody, no more hugging. Stop that hug. Clara, what are you doing?
Is that what you call it, hugging?
I call it hugging up here, but yeah, we know it's not hugging.
Yeah.
Look at
this is definitely going. If this was video, I would be banned from YouTube and everything by now.
I'm actually surprised you asked to come back. I'm surprised you didn't get too many complaints after the last.
Yeah, sure. Look, there's always going to be complaints.
Well,
people
anyway.
hate the sound of my voice anyway as well. So like.
Feck 'em, isn't that the word?
But so, like going back to the heat wave and all, like obviously, like there's with this kind of weather, there's certain temperatures that you can go out with dogs and others then it's too dangerous.
It's crazy, and the amount of people like that I've seen out down there. And I've been trying to say to people, look, I don't walk the dogs, I don't get paid. I don't earn a living, and I cancel it for the safety of the dog.
Yeah.
If they don't walk their dogs, nothing happens. Alright, they'll have a dog that has a lot more energy at home. Jesus, leave the dog at home. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's...
He is really determined to get up on top of her.
Oh, yeah. See, it's hard to kind of talk about topics like this but keep it PG. It's just people... Look, with a lot of people, they're probably not sure. Like, I see people out running and I'm looking at them going, are they that stupid, or is it just they're uneducated and they don't realise the danger?
Yeah.
So it's kind of... You don't know, and I don't want to kind of judge everyone because some people might not know. You know?
And I suppose another thing I want to talk to you about, it's something that I saw you very vocal about on Instagram over the weekend, and it's something that a lot of people just don't seem to cop onto. Like, not only walking their dogs on a lead when like the dog is kind of reactive or aggressive, but also, like I see it myself in my own locality, there's so many people just let their dogs out loose on the road, like, and
like, I don't know if you probably would have saw the Insta stories I had. I was walking Vader. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, so he's a restricted breed, but he's good. I had him under full control. I have him where he's living. There's a few different roads. So I went up one road. So we're on that road about 5 minutes. Next minute I seen this pit bull tear out of the house. Great. Could tell straight away this pit bull is not friendly, extremely reactive. The muscle definition, the strength of this dog. And I had to step in front and intervene, and if I didn't, it was a very powerful dog. The owner, an absolute gobshite. And that's putting us, like, what if that was a child walking their dog?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm well used to this, it's fine, I can deal with situations like that, but what about a young child? What about just any person walking their lovely little fluffy dog?
Exactly.
That dog was aggressive, that dog wanted to attack, that dog tried to attack. I intervened and stopped it, but could have been a very dangerous situation.
But I also I don't know what's your story, but there was someone on Instagram over the weekend I saw, and there was someone out like, it was a case in Limerick actually.
It was?
Yeah, it was on yours, and it was a small dog who was attacked by a big guy.
He's a TNT loony. See little the humper.
Yeah.
Exact same size as him, it's not smaller. Bailey in People's Park, both dogs were on the lead. Bailey's owner passed that owner. They had a little joke. Bailey's owner actually joked saying, my God, you could put a saddle on that, horse. Other owner, Sarah and Bailey walked on, and the dog came up from behind, still on the lead, and latched on and basically went to kill Bailey. It was full kill mode. It was only there was 4 men in the park at the time, and it took the 4 of them to get that dog off Bailey. Bailey would no longer be little. He got about 5 puncture wounds. There was tore off the bone. I think 4 of the puncture wounds are infected, and they have to be drained regularly. He's very lucky to be alive. It's going to be a long recovery, and we don't know what kind of psychological effect it'll have on it, but I said it to Sarah, the minute he's ready, I'll get him back into the park, I'll get him back socialised. Look, we'll have him flying it, but even for Sarah herself to experience that
It's awful. It's absolutely terrible.
And it's just like, when I heard the story, and the People's Park is full of people, full of dogs, and then for what the owner said,
But you know, Jamie, I've heard like this time and time again. Like there was another case there, it was a year or two ago up at Top William Street. A dog was a small dog again, mauled by a dog that was supposedly no control by the owner.
No, and I heard about that story as well. The owner was a gobshite again.
Yeah.
A fool shouldn't have that breed of dog.
Exactly.
Like the thing is, the amount of times I see certain dogs with certain owners, and I'm just looking going, disaster waiting to happen. And unfortunately, there's some owners that think the sun shines out their dog's hole, and they don't realise that their dog is actually a dangerous dog, and they should be a lot more cautious with them. They don't. They bring them into environments that they should never be in.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I see it all the time. Like, and it's like, look, this dog park, whenever it opens, I'm dreading it, and like I'm going to say it to people, look, stay away from it, dude. It's going to be the only one. There's going to be a lot of unsocialised dogs in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's disaster waiting to happen. I just don't know if Limerick is ready for it. Hopefully it works and it works good and they open up more of it, but done under the wrong circumstances.
Like I've even heard of ones, like there's one in Marley Park in Dublin, and I've heard of incidents happening there as well. Like they're not monitored, they're not properly regulated.
Again, it's people thinking that their dog is good, but they probably know their dog has had situations until they be grand. It's not. Environments like that, like as you see, every time we're here, there's a large amount of dogs. But I have them all socialised. I know what I'm doing with them. You know, it's done safely. But like, if you don't know what you're doing and you mix the wrong two dogs, and the thing is, if you're in a place where two dogs start fighting and there's a lot of dogs, you know, it can end up in a Royal Rumble, like.
Exactly.
You know, so
exactly. Right, look, as I always say myself, like, yeah, great, you know your own dog. You don't know somebody else's dog, and you don't know what way your dog is going to react with someone else's dog.
Exactly. So. Like the amount of times, even when I was up in trails, and I'd see someone, I'd put all the dogs on to lead, and they might have one or two dogs, and I'm kind of trying to veer away from them, and they're walking towards it to say hello, and I'm like, I'm moving for a reason, you know. It's like, look, I know some people, again, it's probably just, it's uneducated with this type of dogs and behaviour and stuff, but for other people it's just sheer stupidity as well, you know.
Exactly, yeah, it really is. And like, I think you hit the nail right in the head there about the dog park in Limerick. It's who's going to be watching that? Who's going to be monitoring it?
I am worried. I am. I'll be honest. Like, it's an amenity I'd love to see, and I'd love to see loads of them. And I'd love to, you know, for people, even like, you know, customers here. Like, I have a lot of dogs now that I've socialised here, but I've told the owners, do not bring your dog to that dog park because they will not be good there, because they're completely different for me than they are with the owner. I have a lot of reactive dogs, but when they're with me, perfectly fine. When they're with the owners, different body.
But like, I don't know, it's just like, even over the last 6 months, when this first announcement was made about dog park, I haven't heard feck all about it.
Just about to say, I heard dog park is coming, and that was it. I couldn't hear anything about it.
Need to pull down your sunglasses. It's absolute scorcher here today.
Yeah, and the fact that this is probably the most hungover podcast ever, so we leave it at that.
It's a bit of a hangover, alright. I've definitely been way worse, to be honest, but I've probably recorded 1 or 2 episodes when I actually have a glass of wine as well, so
they're the best ones. We should come on and we should do a drunk one sometime for the crack, actually.
Oh my god, that would definitely get me banned off every platform going.
Station.
Like, what the hell are you on? But like, it's just such, and I say every time I come up here, it's such a great facility that you have here.
I love it. Look, it's done right. Now, like, I always get people, will my dog be suitable? I don't know. Not every dog is suitable for this. Like, a lot of dogs in the starter, they're very nervous. I know after a few goes, look, if they don't start to show any types of socialisation, Paul's been smart down there. Yeah. I'll just salute him there. That's the type of salute now Paul gets.
I won't even repeat what kind of salute that Paul just got there. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, look, a lot of, like, the amount of dogs that we've had that, like, were very unsocial, and now they're flying it, absolutely flying it. Some dogs that were extremely nervous, as confident as ever now. But there is some dogs that's just, it's the type of environment will not suit.
And you know what, like, even when, my God, he really wants it.
No, that's Clara's sister now, Darragh. Buddy, put it away. Come on, man.
Wow.
Bit of decorum.
That's one dog that really, really looking for today.
As long as Paul doesn't come and start trying to hump you now, it'd be grand.
That would be.
He copies the dogs a lot, definitely.
You know, that would be a very interesting one. Bit of barking going on here as well.
Little Lucy, do you see tiny little Lucy there? She is the craziest little dog. Look at the size of her.
The small one's over there though.
Like, look at the size of her now in comparison to the dog she's barking at. But see, that's another thing. Like, you see the size of Lucy there in comparison to Ben.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make sure that they are social, and because imagine Ben wasn't social and turned on Lucy. That's a one-way game there. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
you have to be very careful, like, especially introducing small but big out in public areas. Just be very cautious.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
if the big dog does turn, you know, there's.
And like, of course, that does all the signs as well that's there, like the body language of a dog.
Exactly.
So, and like a lot of people don't get that either, especially when a dog is approaching them in like on a walk or in a park, or they don't actually notice the body language.
Exactly, and being honest, like, people ask me, oh, how will I introduce my dog to another dog? It's like, are both dogs on the lead? Well, we'll just avoid them. So if you want to avoid any chance of an altercation, it's just easier, because dogs on a lead can be extremely reactive in comparison to a dog off a lead.
Yeah.
You know, Bruno there, he's fine now because he's on a lead, but you know, if Bruno was off a lead and you just said Ben on a lead, when he sees another dog on a lead, he just goes this other type of crazy. Now, not vicious, but it's he's just mental.
Like the crazy I experienced when I came in. Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
he goes over barking in their face trying to annoy, as if to say, haha, you're on the lead and I'm not. Let it, Bruno. Get him.
I definitely got a good read of Bruno well.
The marks on your arm there show it.
Definitely, yeah. I guarantee you, I'm going to go home and Bruno's going to be like, my own Bruno's going to be like, who did that to you? That's
He
not
didn't
mine.
give you those marks.
Well, he's given me so many others that, like, at this stage now, he nearly could have, he wouldn't even know. But, like, it's just, even with the, like, I suppose you have such big things going on right now, like with the dog food as well, and like you said, that's going from strength to strength.
Flying it, yeah, thank you.
And I actually saw some of the bags inside in with Chester's place there, and like it's incredible that you're doing all this, and you've built a business like really from scratch.
Yeah, from that, there was no trails and tails.
Yeah.
You know, like myself and Sarah there, like, we've worked our asses off to get to where we are. People don't understand, like, people see and go, I'd love to do that. Like, you know, it went from having 3 jobs, and Sarah took the brunt of the kids for the first. Alright, Sarah still takes the brunt of the kids. But you know, like, there was a lot of sacrifices and hard work and crazy hours to get to where we are. But yeah, look, we're reaping the rewards now.
But you're both in a job that you love.
Exactly, and I'm the boss.
And Sarah, I'm gonna have to talk to you now about the bandanas. Like, everyone's loving them. They're absolutely fantastic. And the feedback I've even got from the few on the big bark ones that you did up for us, especially that girl Sarah up in Dublin who lost her dog Baxter. Like, she was actually overwhelmed like with that as well. So like, I actually work with that girl in my full-time job, like, and it was just like, it meant something to her as well. And like, it's something personal as well. And like, I see even the photos online, all the dogs look so happy. My Bruno loves wearing his. Milly, on the other hand, if you put it on her, it's like, no, I am not being your little model. I don't know if you saw the video that I put up yesterday evening on the Big Bark page.
Oh, you were late giving her the feed, wasn't
Yeah, literally 3 minutes late giving her dinner, and she started barking at me. So it's just like, it's just amazing, like, how the personality of dogs is just incredible, like, and personality of this fella too, huh?
Yeah, he's great. He's going to become the Trails and Tails mascot, but for all the wrong reasons.
Definitely.
Now, right, Bruno? He's broke many phones. I don't know how I haven't broken bones. Knocked us all over. He nearly broke my nose one day with a headbutt. But it's all good. You know, you have to.
But Sarah, would that not do an improvement to his face?
It would. I'm yet to see it, really.
Can't improve this face, man.
Well, look, guys, it's a pleasure as always, and thank you both so much for joining me today. We're going to cut over now to the dog groomer, head to tail, with Jess, and I hope to talk to you both again.
Brilliant, Darragh.
And the great news is I survived the bar park, and right now I have made my way across town to a brand new grooming salon, and that is Head to Tail Grooming here on Mulgrave Street in Limerick, and I'm delighted to welcome the owner of Head to Tail, and that is Jess. Jess, welcome to the Big Bark.
Thank you, I'm happy to be here.
So Jess, let's start off by talking about your own background. Like, you've obviously been doing grooming for a while. What got you into grooming in the first place?
So I've always wanted to work with dogs ever since I was young. I didn't know what part I wanted to go into. I wanted to be a vet at some stage. But then I did work experience when I was in school with groomers and I fell in love with it. I went and did 2 FETAC courses, fell in love with grooming even more then, and I've been grooming now in Limerick for 3 years.
Fantastic. And so it's all been going quite well for you, but this is a massive step now taken on your own business.
Yeah, massive step.
So how do you feel? Tomorrow is the opening day. We're recording one day here before the opening day. How are you feeling about it?
Excited, nervous, anxious.
So I believe you work very closely a lot with Trails and Tales, who are big supporters of our show as well. So I do know from seeing on Instagram, Jamie and Sarah have given you a lot of support as well. What has the support overall from other people and other businesses and Darragh been like?
Oh, the support from everybody has been absolutely terrific. If it wasn't for the support of Jamie and Sarah and all the help they've given me, I think I probably would be a lot more nervous than I am now. But I couldn't be more happy to have the support of Sarah and Jamie behind me. I know they have a massive following, you know, everyone loves them. And then to stock their food as well, like I swear by their food. I have both my dogs on it and I never change their food.
So obviously, like, you're a massive dog person yourself. What kind of dogs have you got yourself?
I have a lurcher who is a rescue, and then we also have a terrier.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird mix, but no, they're mad.
Okay, so obviously for, say, a lurcher, you won't have a lot of grooming involved. What is the one breed that is, I suppose, harder and more time consuming than any other dog to groom?
It's a funny question. A lot of people would say different. I think Huskies, Malamutes, all that kind of breed, because there's so much time that goes into the washing, the drying, the de-shedding, everything like that. I'd say they're one of the hardest breeds, one of the most time consuming breeds. Okay,
and like I do know, like obviously, like there's some breeds that are out there, like Bernese Mountain Dog. I've heard stories online where it costs up to like 10,000 a year or something to keep them groomed. Like when you have a dog that sheds a lot, it's expensive for owners.
Yeah, it can be very expensive for owners.
So obviously before, and like it's something a lot of owners won't think of before they're getting a dog, before they're picking a breed. It's something that you really need to kind of look at as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and explain then what a typical day is like for you as a dog groomer. I know obviously like you're just starting off here, but like as a dog groomer in general, what's a typical day like for you?
So a typical day would be roughly having maybe 6-7 dogs in a day. You start off, you clip them down, you get them washed. Do you know, a lot of them now coming to me, I know their standard cut, so it's literally just dog getting dropped in, I already know what I'm doing, and then you work away. But then you clip them off, you wash them, you give them their dry, you finish off their cut, you do their feet, their nails, their ears, and you give them an overall pretty fluffy cut.
Lovely. And tell me then, like obviously for a lot of dogs, like going to the vet, going to the groomer, it's a nerve-wracking experience for them. Any advice for dog owners to actually handle that?
So I have one in particular that comes to me that is like this. She was a rescue herself. Their owner has been bringing them to me now for roughly 2 years. No one else can touch the dog. She will actually scream. And it's literally consistency, letting them see the same face all the time, being calm with them. If there's something they don't want you to do, you move away from it, go back. Do you know, it's all about not stressing the dog. But it's consistency. The more you can do it, the better it will become for them, and it becomes normal and they realise, oh, this isn't a bad thing.
Okay, and like obviously there's a lot of groomers around. So you're new into the market yourself.
Yeah.
Like, has there been support from other groomers as well?
There has, yeah.
Yeah, which is great to see. It's great to see other businesses supporting each other as well. Exactly. What's your advice then, say, for anyone looking to become an actual groomer, like someone like yourself who started off a few years ago? What's your advice to someone looking to go into that grooming?
My advice, similar to what I did, I'd advise going in somewhere, doing work experience, getting even like an apprenticeship, you know, coming in 1 day a week, 2 days a week. I started off washing and drying dogs. It was only one of the women decided, you know, I'll give you a chance, you know, try doing this, try doing that, you know, and then you kind of build from there. And it is nice because you start from the bottom and you work your way up and you learn everything different along the way.
And like obviously in dog grooming there's so much to actually learn as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not like dog walking or pet sitting, like does all the biology of the dogs and everything that you need to learn. As someone who is learning, what's the toughest thing to actually learn about dog grooming?
Well, that every dog is not the same.
Okay. Yeah, like every dog I suppose has their own personality traits as well. Like I know my own two, like Bruno Milly. Milly just loves going into the vet. She's the only dog I've ever seen that like literally jumps up on top of the vet's table.
Our old dog, she passed away now 2 years ago. She used to love going to the vets. You only had to say the word to her and she would skip up our road and she'd go running in, not a problem.
And you know, it's very unusual for a lot of dogs because a lot of dogs, the minute they see the vet's like, oh crap, what am I doing back here?
That's my new fella now, that's my lurcher. I literally have to pick him up and carry him in because he will not go in the door.
But it's like, it's the same as well, like say like for Bruno, he's very nervous going into the vet. He's very nervous even going into a groomer's to get his nails clipped. Like they're short coated dogs, like both mine are Labradors, so there's no real major grooming involved in them. They get their washing all at home, but like there's no major, like they shed a lot. But that's kind of that's the problem of my clothes really more than anything. But Bruno then on the other hand, like even getting the nails clipped, he's so nervous. So as a dog owner, say if I was coming into you, what would be your advice to me there, like with Bruno, bringing him into, like it's very hard to find a groomer for him that he actually takes a liking to.
Yeah.
What would be your advice there?
My advice there, the nicest thing to do would be, even if you were coming for a walk past here one day, just bring him in, let him come in, let him say hello, let him see other dogs, that it's not a scary thing, that it's not a bad thing, that other dogs get it done and it's okay. Get him used to one person and eventually then he'll build that relationship with that one person and it won't become a major deal, it'll become normal.
What's your plans to build the business?
My plans would be, as best as I can, hopefully try and expand my clientele, even adding on what I've had for the last 3 years. Eventually have a second groomer and then see how we go from there, and then if it does keep expanding, a bigger premises.
Fantastic. Okay, well look, I think that's pretty much all I need to know. Jess, thank you so much for joining me on the Big Bar today, and best wishes for the opening of the business, and hope everything goes well, and I'll have Bruno and Milly in at some stage to you as well.
Thank you, thanks for the support.
And that's all that we have time for today. Thank you so much to Jess, to Jamie and to Sarah, and of course all the crew up at Trails and Tales. Got to chat with Paul about his umbrella, of course. Hopefully he'll get a new one now before the winter. And very best of luck to their new starter who started yesterday, Annette, who also got pretty much attacked by the very playful Bruno. And I have plenty of marks here on my arm after that earlier on. I think my arm looks a bit like Wolverine at the moment. Or like Wolverine had a good old go at it. More used to that from my own Bruno, but my god, that was entertaining anyway. Well, we have a few great episodes coming up in the next few weeks. We have Kat from CDC Animal Therapy next week. We'll be chatting to dog trainer Annie Grossman, all the way from the US, who will be talking about urban living with dogs in a couple of weeks. We'll be chatting to Cheryl Matthews, the owner of an app called Fetch-A-Date. And we'll have Pete the Vet and Seamus from Den for Dogs all on over the coming weeks. Of course, we'll be chatting to trainers like Carrie from Madra. We'll be chatting to Samantha Rawson again. We'll definitely have Tim back on from Pep Bond again, Tim Corby. Always like to have these people on. We have a lot of shows lined up right up to the run up to Christmas, so it's going to be a very packed couple of months, and getting a lot of these shows kind of like recorded now because it's going to be a very busy few months, but an enjoyable few months. So like I said, that's all for today. I survived the bar park, and thank God for that. I didn't need my life insurance, and hopefully I won't need it next time that I go back there either. So if you want to follow us be sure to go to our Instagram page or Facebook page. Both of those you'll find under the Big Bear Podcast. We're on Twitter as well. We're on Patreon. We're not on TikTok. I gave it a go and I got bored absolutely crapless from it. So I just decided, couldn't be arsed. As a whole, overall, things are going well. So I think we'll leave it at that. And I'm afraid I'm going to start waffling now, so I'm definitely going to leave it at that. And we've hit the 31 minute mark too, so that's long enough for anyone to have to listen to my voice in a week. Until next week, have a fantastic week and give your doggies lots of cuddles.
The Big Bark, listen up dog owners, is for you, all you canine lovers. It's your favorite podcast, The Big Bark, with your host Darragh and canine co-hosts Bruno and Milly. The Big Bark.